Well, good day, my friends. It's your old pal Jordan the Lion, and our pal Jaws in there hanging out in his comfy bed. How are you all doing? I hope you said great. We are back in Los Angeles today, and as you know, I love the band The Doors. I've done a lot of videos in the time that I've been a vlogger, all the way going to Paris to where Jim died, and seeing the restaurants he used to eat at and hang out, the parks there, to seeing the LA Woman recording space, seeing where MORRISON Hotel photo shoot was, the house on Love Street. Well, today we're doing some stuff that I've never got to check out before. We're actually going to go to the house on Fraser that when Jim and Ray first met, it's where Ray was living, and he invited Jim to come move in when they met on the beach that day and decided to change the course of music history forever. Let's go to Venice and see some Doors history. Daze with Jordan the Lion and you all. It begins right now. For those of you doubting me, there's Jaw. Jaw came along too. He likes the Doors too. You're a Doors fan, aren't you? Here we are down on Venice Beach, right at the end of where Fraser Street would be. Fraser would be right over there. And it was actually out here where the Doors agreed to form. He said at the time, most of the beach was like beatniks and stuff, poets. Bukowski was here with like crowds of people. It was actually right here. Ray Manzarek said that he was standing out here, actually kind of sitting out here, wondering what he was going to do with his life, because he had just got his master's degree from UCLA, and he said he looked over and noticed Jim Morrison walking over there, and he knew Jim from school. Jim had just graduated with his bachelor's degree, and Ray said, I was shocked because I thought he was going out to New York City, so I couldn't believe when I saw him, especially how thin he was. He said Jim was never a big guy, but said he looked like he lost like 25 pounds. So he called him over to like right over here. And he said, Jim, what are you doing? What have you been up to? And Jim said, I've been writing songs. Been staying on Dennis Jacobs' roof, looking out at the water and just writing songs. And Ray said, that's far out, man. Like, sing me something. So he said, they sat down and like Jim starts like running his hands into the sand and starts singing the lyrics of Moonlight Drive. And he said he just keeps doing it. And he said as he's doing it, I can hear like Ray Charles, and I can hear like the beats and the way the drums should be and everything. I said, man, do you have anything else? And he said he sang me something else. And I'm like, oh my God, man, we really got something here. We got to get a drummer and a guitar player, but I think we really got something. We got to form a band. And he said, I live right up the street up there on Fraser. And he said, you can move in with my wife Dorothy and I, and we'll start the band there. He goes, you have any ideas of what we should call it? And Jim said, The Doors. Ray said, that's the dumbest name I've ever heard in my life. And then he said, all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute. Like Aldous Huxley's The Doors of Perception? Jim goes, yeah, man, like opening the doors of your mind. So he said they agreed right here to start the band. And then Ray said, well, let me show you your new house. Let's go tell Dorothy the good news. And they walked up to the house on Fraser that we're gonna go to now. That is so cool. I actually found a video of Ray Manzarek telling the story out here at the exact location, telling where it is and recounting his memory of it. So really cool to be standing here. So they walked from the beach down there up here, talking about how they were gonna form a rock and roll band. And in Ray's video, he actually walks up in between these two houses, and the house that they lived in, or where they stayed, was, there was like a back house through there that you can kind of see, and through that little part right there, and they lived upstairs there. He said he and Dorothy lived up there, and he filmed all of his like student movies and everything up there. He said he had naked pictures of Dorothy all over the walls, and they used to have a grill right outside their door, right up on that balcony. He said that they had no money while they lived here, so they went to the grocery store one time to get drinks, and he said Jim put on a big giant pea coat. He said when he got in there, he went to the steak section, grabbed a big steak and put it under his coat and said, okay, I'm ready to go. And then that's how they ate while they lived here. He said we had no money, but we had a lot of fun. So it was right back there where the band started. They've put a gate and everything since when he filmed his video, and he's been passed away for quite some time, but it was right behind this house, kind of in the back house back there. This is a drastically different Venice than they would have known. So before these buildings right here were here, there was a famous photo of the band. Henry Diltz, who took a lot of great rock photos and took a lot of the, well, he took all the Morrison Hotel. He took a photo of them right here, and there used to be a Coca-Cola mural up here. This cage wasn't here. Man, even the trees kind of covering it up, but it was right here. I'll show you an image of them standing right here. Pretty cool piece of history. A lot of people probably don't even know is right here. Right here on Brooks. Wonder why they painted over that Coca-Cola mural. That was here forever. Like decades. Oh well, bummer. Now we're going to the rooftop. I believe that's what the rooftop is, where the mural is. Here it is, the iconic building. So when Ray said that he ran into Jim on the beach, and Jim said, I'm staying on Dennis Jacobs' rooftop, that was it. He was staying up there, looking out over the ocean and Venice Beach, and was writing those very first lyrics and the very first songs of the Doors. Pretty cool stop. Nobody's ever put a historical plaque or anything there, but people know because of the big giant mural that's always been there. So that's probably the stairwell that he would have taken to go up there. Let's see if there's anything on the other side of the building. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hey, that's kind of crazy. All right, we got another couple of stops to see, so let's go. So we're over here on the corner of Ocean Park and Main, and a lot of places online say that Olivia's Soul Food was right there, which was the eatery that was, many people say, the Doors even say that it was the inspiration for Soul Kitchen. But online, I found that it was actually here. It was where this museum is. And someone online said if you look up the movie Cisco Pike with Chris Christopherson and Karen Black, there's a scene of Chris Christopherson eating a meal inside of Olivia's when it was here on this corner. But this was a kind of a low-priced eatery. They had home cooking, a little bit of everything. It's called Soul Kitchen was what they named the song, but I saw somebody say they used to eat here in the late 60s and 70s, and they would have like mashed potatoes and meatloaf and stuff like that also. So this was a place that Early on in the band's days, they could come and get an inexpensive meal because where they lived, that house that Dorothy and Jim and all shared, like 2 blocks up that way. Could have walked here. The spot is now occupied by the California Heritage Museum. So this is the King's Head British pub, but it used to be called the Turkey Joint West. And Jim used to eat here. In 1965, the legend is that he got up on stage here for the very first time. Even before talking to Ray on the beach that day, said that maybe late May, early June, there were very few people present or anything, so he had the confidence just to hop up there and do his poetry and sing. Pretty cool history. Nice to see it still here. Well, the last place that I wanted to go to on our Doors tour today was here, the Village Recording Studio. This is where Jim Morrison did his last recordings. On his birthday, December 8th, 1970, he came here and wanted to record some of his poetry, and they would end up using part of these recordings as what they released as an American Prayer for the last Doors album with Jim Morrison. So pretty historic place. That was also the only album nominated for a Grammy Award for the Doors in the spoken word category. Nice. Imagine that. Had no idea these would be his last recordings. That's shortly after that is when he went off to Paris and passed away in July of '71. Well, my friends, I hope you enjoyed our Doors tour today. I will see you next time. Have a great night and goodbye.